The concept of Democrats considering caving and voting to reopen the government based off of the strength of a promise from well-documented liars.
Let's talk about the Senate drama that just went down. The Senate drama that is currently going on because the Democrats just did something that a lot of people are not happy about. So basically, the Senate Democrats have finally joined Republicans to vote on government opening back up. They finally caved in because of some failed promises and some lies, and people are not here for it. Because how could you guys believe them? How could you guys allow them to convince you guys on these lies? How could you guys allow them to promise you guys to the point that you all agree to vote for the government to open? Check this out.
Chuck Schumer, kindly shut the up. Oh my God, I'm about to lose it. Because what do you mean? After Tuesday's victory, Chuck Schumer, Mark Kelly decide, you know what we should do? Open up the government because people are struggling. What about Tuesday's victory makes you think that the country is blaming Democrats for the government being shut down? Are you dumb or stupid? Which one is it today? Because clearly SNAP benefits stopped on the 1st. The election was on the 4th. Air traffic controllers, federal workers, everything is happening right now. And still, they overwhelmingly voted Democrat. Because even though we're all suffering, they get there's a point because healthcare is the most important thing we could focus on and not get taken away from us. What possible reason would you open up the government without guarantees that they're not going to touch the ACA? Gonna run that back one more good time. Why would you open up the government if you have zero guarantees that they're not going to touch the ACA or Medicaid or anything else? Have you gotten that in writing? Because case you have forgotten, Republicans lied. They lied to you in March. They will lie to you again. They don't have a health care plan to replace the ACA. What are we doing? I can't imagine running for Congress, winning, my whole party winning, and saying, you know what we should do? Fuck it all up. Chuck Schumer, I need you to take a page out of Nancy Pelosi's book. Bow the fuck out. Because you're not winning re-election. You're one of the most hated politicians in this country. Bow out. Bow out. Let a Democrat with a spine take over. Please and thank you. If you've got a Senate Democrat, call them. Republicans can't be trusted. I've got Dave McCormick and John fucking Fetterman. I have 2 Republicans in my fucking state. Not going to stop me from calling, but if you've got a Democratic senator that's actually a Democrat, please call them. Please do what you need to do, because this is insane. Send this video to everyone. Tell them to hold the fucking line. What's it going to take for you guys to realize that we know it fucking sucks? But it's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better, because you cannot let this level of authoritarianism go unchecked. Dude's not even listening to lawyers that are telling him he has to release the SNAP benefits. He doesn't give a shit. Holding the line in Congress is quite literally the only bargaining chip you have. Why?
What do you guys think? Have you seen this headline? What was your first reaction that all of these things that they have done for 40 days now is just like gone to waste? It's almost like it's for nothing, because people are talking about how if you guys know you are going to cave in, if you guys know that all it takes is just to give you guys false promises, why did you guys allow all of these things to go on for 40 days? Why did you guys allow people to not get paid for 40 days? Things will have been running smoothly if you guys knew you were not going to be able to stand 10 toes down. Like I said, it's getting so many pissed. Let's check on more reactions. And people are having a lot of things to say. Like, you can tell that people are really angry at this one.
The concept of Democrats considering caving and voting to reopen the government based off of the strength of a promise from well-documented liars. Are we fucking dead ass? What was the point? Genuinely, what was the point of the last almost 40 days and 40 nights if y'all are just going to cave based off of a fucking pinky promise, knowing damn well them folks have their fingers crossed behind their backs? What the fuck was the point? What was the point if you're just going to cave based off of the promise of well-documented liars? Next, you're going to tell me that you believe J-Lo can sing. To Senators Tammy Baldwin from Wisconsin, Mark Kelly from Arizona, John Ossoff from Georgia, Gary Peters from Michigan, Dick Durbin from Illinois, Maggie Hassan from New Hampshire, Jean Shaheen from New Hampshire, John Fetterman from Pennsylvania, Chuck Schumer from New York, Angus King from Maine, Alyssa Slotkin from Michigan, Catherine Cortez Masto from Nevada, John Hickenlooper from Colorado, Jackie Rosen from Nevada, and any other Democratic senator who might be getting weak in the knees. I'm going to hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. Stand the fuck up, grow some fucking balls, and hold the fucking line.
Imagine rooting for your political party to stop millions of Americans from losing their health care. Imagine rooting for that and then see them fold for nothing more than a promise from somebody who has shown shit character more than once. John Thune's promise is what's necessary for the extension of the Affordable Care Act. The promise of a one man, the promise of a MAGA man, the promise of a Trump supporter is what caused the Democrats to fold. These are the people we're supposed to get behind. Oh, they fled Texas to stop the gerrymandering. What's happening in Texas still? Got it. I don't expect these people to just pop outside with magic solutions and fix everything and stop MAGA. But I also don't expect whatever this pussy ass shit is. How much money are we sending to Israel, by the way? Oh.
So before the night is over, two things we can all agree on. Number one, Chuck Schumer needs to be primaried now. I got time on my calendar tomorrow morning. I can do it my damn self. Second thing, the Democratic Party is spineless. And this is your reminder because we tried this during the presidential election. Politicians work for you, which means that at every turn, they should be working on behalf of their constituents. That is their whole ass job. So now I want to remind you all that when you come up with a concept called vote blue no matter who, but you have put people in position who lack a spine, who have boneless politics and cave into Republican demand while simultaneously sacrificing crucial needs for Americans like healthcare, are we now at the level where we can admit that this is insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. Now is a great time to educate yourself on the Working Families Party, who they are, what they stand for, and just to also expand your political knowledge, read about socialism, communism, Marxism, and other ideologies that are outside of capitalism. Because this two-party system is broken, and people have been trying to fix it with chewing gum and a shoestring.
Never doubt the Democrats' ability to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, bro. It is unparalleled, their desire to lose even when they win. A group of Senate Democrats, led by Chuck Schumer, have decided they're going to capitulate to the Republicans and vote to reopen the government in exchange for essentially a pinky promise. They're giving away all of their leverage for the next few months and teaching the Republicans that starving Americans is a legitimate political strategy for getting what you want, only in exchange for a vote on the extension of Obamacare. Mind you, not even an actual promise that Obamacare will be extended. Simply a vote, which will almost assuredly fail. When you watch something like this, you inevitably have to come to the conclusion that the Democrats genuinely want to lose. And when they win too hard, they start getting scared. Because this last election cycle that just happened, the Democrats learned that they were not punished for the government shutdown. In fact, it probably helped them a lot. And the lesson that Chuck Schumer turned around and took from that is, oh, it's time to give up all of our fight against Donald Trump and the Republicans, because obviously they don't want to win. The Democrats are a controlled opposition party. Obviously, these moderates who folded need to be primaried, but this is the function of the party. So why should any
moderate Democrats basically like cowering to Republicans and voting to reopen the government with absolutely nothing but like a wish and a winkle in regards to a vote on healthcare subsidies later on is not like they are completely feckless. They are completely useless. But I think what you all don't realize is not to consider what's happening, but to consider when it's happening. Who was just elected as mayor of New York? Their greater concern as the Democratic Party is that more people like Mamdani will be elected to higher office come the midterms. And they're going to use this to hold the midterms over people's head, just like they did the last election, and basically let Republicans run ramshot all over the entire United States so that during the midterms they can say, well, it's vote blue no matter who, right? So they can run a bunch of moderate Republicans that basically have the label of Democrat to stave off any more progressives being added to the Democratic coalition. Because now that Mamdani is elected, he's shining even more of a light on people like Kathy Hochul, who is basically saying, I'm not going to negotiate with the more progressive members of my party because you told me so. And it's really just showing how useless they are as a party. But you're not as useless as a party when your opponent is a Republican and not a progressive Democrat, right? Then it's vote blue no matter who. Then it's we have to get them in the door. Then it's, oh my God, I don't really care that he pointed a shotgun at a black man. It's between him and a Republican.
So before I go to bed, just want to let y'all know that moderate Democrats decide to cave to Republicans to reopen the government. This agreement literally has nothing in return for them. The main thing that they were holding out on was healthcare subsidies. There's a brief recap of everything in the Huffington Post, but if you go into the article, this is what the crux that everyone is pointing out on. The deal that was cut does not extend the healthcare subsidies, but sets up a future vote to extend them. A vote that they know will absolutely fail. They literally agreed on a trust me, bro. This is just a reminder that midterms are next year. And if your senator voted yes, you need to get them the fuck out of here. Now, by the grace of God, both my Georgia senators said no to this damn bill. I don't know who started the rumor that Ossoff said yes, but he voted no. And him voting no makes him the most vulnerable senator right now, especially since he's up for re-election next year. Over 1 million Georgia residents are about to see a double, triple price hike when it comes to their insurance premiums. A price hike that no one can afford, especially right now. If you're a Georgia resident watching this, buckle the fuck up, because not only do we got to get a whole new governor, we got to make sure John keeps his seat, because they are going to be coming for his ass.
It is actually frustrating. Like, after weeks, they finally gave in and sided with Republicans. It is insane. On the surface, the people who do not know the background, the reason for all of this, for the shutdown before, would have thought that was a progress, but no. It's nothing close to that, I promise you. And I'm sure if you have listened to so many of those speeches, if you have watched them, if you haven't, go back and watch what those people have to say. If you have watched them, you will know that this is no progress at all. Because this was not just about, the government reopening agencies. This came at a cost. A cost that millions of Americans are about to feel, and one of it is health insurance. Things are about to skyrocket real bad, and people are scared for what next to come, because now they have agreed to, reopen the government. According to what I read, not all the Democrat Senate voted, but enough of them voted to keep things pushing. So basically they can just say that the Senate Democrats voted, together with the Republicans, that the government should open back up. People are so angry, not just because they feel betrayed by the Republicans, but because they feel betrayed by their party as well. They are even calling that a lot of them should be sacked, like to the bin. Like, what is that decision? There was a moment where they could have held the line and demanded better terms, but instead they folded. And everyday Americans, especially the ones that are relying on affordable health care, they are going to be the one to pay for this dearly. People are really crashing out over this, and rightfully so, because a good 40 days and all it had to take for you guys to move or to cave is just for them to give you guys false promises, lies. The people that have been lying to you people's faces for long, the people that are known to have been gotten social services are the people that you all believe what was coming out of their mouth. You all literally said, yes, the lies is enough for us to push forward. The lies is enough for us to, get things moving. Let's get it on. Let's come to terms with them. It is insane. I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section. To my Americans who are following this account, what is your first reaction when you saw the headline that the Senate Democrats caved in, and now health insurance is about to be at the highest, and people are about to pay dearly for the decisions that these people decided to make? Like, they had the time to ask. They had the time to bargain. All they accepted were lies, and immediately they folded. Let me hear what you guys think in the comment section, and I am going to see you guys in the next one.